Good morning, guys. How are we all doing? Happy Sunday, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a great weekend. I am Dan from Trading with Dan. This is our Bitcoin morning update. So if you guys wouldn't mind smashing that like button, we shall go straight over to those Bitcoin 4-hour charts. So yeah, Bitcoin on the 4-hour, you can pretty obviously see that we are having another attempt to get above this resistance area. You can see in the short term we've got a series of, well, I say a series of lower highs. We've obviously got this high here and then this high here. So you could draw in a descending, you could basically draw a pennant here of sorts. And we are looking for an expansion of volatility either to the upside or to the downside. So at the moment, as we are testing into the resistance and having a move to the upside, you have just about got to give the benefit of the doubt to the bulls. However, this is just the weekend, and who knows how these stock markets are going to open on Monday and what sort of just general bearishness shenanigans FUD that we're going to get in just in world markets. I mean, there is just so much going on basically. But yeah, we'll actually draw the underside trend line at least, because that is probably the more important one, because obviously if we do lose this, well, that opens up the trapdoor, so to speak, and if we break to the upside, it's only not as important, just because I mean it's gonna be a grind to make any real upside progress. So the absolute best we can probably hope for is that we over the course of this week make our way up to about 33,000. But yeah, like I said, if we have a break to the downside and obviously continued FUD and bearishness in just generally the world, then yeah, I mean clearly 23,000 is on the cards. So yeah, let's have a look at the most obvious honestly it's hilarious, the most obvious painting of the charts I've seen recently. So obviously everything was looking disgusting in Friday's trading for equities. Official bear market territory we were in the S&P, which is basically classed as just 20% decline from the high. But we were saved by this scam pump into the close. So yeah, obviously this is the point where the PPT is going to step in, and obviously they just wanted to have a nicer close for the stats, for the weekly stats for people to look at. Also, yeah, just for people to look at over the weekend. I mean, if we were looking at price action sat here at the close, then yeah, I mean that would not be just would not be ideal, would it? In fact, we will actually we'll just move that back up there for the time being, and then we will probably put in a trend line more around here, I think. But I mean, depending on if we come down to hit this, depending on where it comes in, it is looking like it's going to come in around this support area anyway. So 37,000 could be the low. That is one of the major basically puts that people have been buying, the 3700 call, 3700 put. So yeah, an area that probably will be tough to break under, but if we do, well, again, the trapdoor opens. But yeah, I think like I keep saying, we've got to have a significant bounce at some point. I think we're going to have at some point a good 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks of upside before we have to reassess. Not to say that will be a bear market rally. We'll have to assess it in real time and what happens, and then what is catalyzing it. But yeah, we'll have to see. 10-year easing off. We are pricing out obviously some of those aggressive rate hikes, but clearly we just know why. We know why with just obviously the economic numbers that are coming through. But it's looking a bit like it's looking like a head and shoulders. But I would just say this resistance, this support area is just going to be important to break back below. 103 handle on the DXY as well, looking like it's putting a medium time frame top. But yeah, a lot of people, including myself, have tried to call the top in this asset a number of times. basically around here, around here, around here, and is this just going to be the next one, and then we just continue to the upside? We shall see. Obviously, sanctions working here though, so good to see the sanctions working. Well done, well done, well done, the Biden administration. You crazy kids over there doing great. It's good to see that the Ministry of Truth lady Jankovic or whatever, that clown, absolute clown, literal typical Democrat lefty lying just joke of a "I think I'm better than you" clown woman. Highly partisan, says she isn't, just absolute junk of a politician, of a person, of a whatever. She's out of the job anyway, and obviously doing her, oh, it's discrimination, it's because I'm a woman, rah rah rah. But anyway, she's only 33 though. I find that interesting that she's 33 and nearly became the head of the Ministry of Truth. Yeah, that's interesting, isn't it? Are we going to move to a new sort of positive discrimination? We obviously have women, minorities, and now younger women as well. Obviously not younger men. I mean, they are the enemy, but unless obviously they're a man of minority, but they are still lower down the pecking order. But are we going to have like basically women, ideally of colour, of a younger age? I mean, AOC springs to mind as well. But yeah, these crazy people, they are obviously out of everybody, out of all the demographics that are obviously of adult age working. I mean, that is probably the demographic that's easiest for like the elites to control, the people behind the scenes, the probable white old men behind the scenes running things. I guess young white or women of colour are the ones easiest to influence because, do you know what I mean? Just who knows why? Biology. Let's go with that. What else do we want to look at on here? Let's see how Peter Schiff is doing. Yeah, Peter Schiff is like Bitcoin, a lot of work to do in major resistance. Is it going to make it through? I mean, it remains to be seen. Oil easing off somewhat. But above this support level. So I mean, obviously is you have to have a bullish bias here. It potentially comes into this resistance, this trend line again. Obviously, we understand that we are going to have a food price crisis going forwards. We all know that. That is basically a fact. The only thing that obviously is holding prices massively, even more elevated at the moment, is the fact that obviously the media is trying not to talk about it so much because they obviously don't want to talk. They don't want to. I mean, it's not that it will be a self-fulfilling prophecy. It just will be a speeded up prophecy, not self-fulfilling, because it's going to happen anyway because of other reasons, not just because it's talked about. But yeah, we are going to have a food price crisis, which basically means countries on the margins are just wrecked. Basically, there is going to be major political unrest. That is the one thing that topples governments is empty bellies. Let's have a look at stochastics. Have we got anything stochastics to basically bust us through here, get us up to 33,000? Let's have a look. 4 hour not looking too bad. Putting a high low on this stochastic, but yeah, moving up and got a lot of room to run into. So 4 hour potentially help us. 10 hour not looking bad either as well, getting into the bullish zone, bullish half. So 10 hour could help us too. Yeah, 12 hour turn it up again, got into the bullish half, and now looking to try and hold that bullish half. So not bad there either. Daily pointing up, got all the room to run. Buy daily, go. All I will point out though, guys, is that this is the weekend trading. It's obviously going to heavily influence these lower time frames, just those weekend hours. But yeah, buy daily pointing up as well. 3 day pointing up from a low level, and I think this is the important one. 5 day to turn back up, and then ultimately weekday, but 5 day first. Yeah, I mean, these lower term time frames are not looking bad at all to get us basically into a decent rally. And if we do look here, we have got a 5 day TD sequential 9 as well. Obviously the 5 day bin, or I think is just one of the better time frames to look at here. But yeah, 5 day TD sequential 9. Not really much else here TD sequential wise, but yeah, that 5 day would be a pretty powerful one. So basically above yeah, above basically 31, so 31,000 or so. Yeah, we could see a 1 to 4 5-day candle correction, which would be a 5 to 20-day correction, which could very easily, very easily get us up to about 40,000, and then we could at that point we could start to climb the wall of worry, and the disbelief, where everyone starts selling, thinking we are just done, we are done out here. But what I just would bring people's attention to is this 10-year easing off. This is basically what is wrecking the market: the Fed tightening, and the tightening of obviously the increase in the yields, tightening of the money. If this is going to ease off, then yeah, we could actually see a significant bounce in the stock market. So there we go, guys. That is our Sunday update. Hope you guys are all well. Thanks for listening, and remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I shall speak to you guys soon.